Guys, we need to talk about the internet again. Society has officially moved away from simply living out scenarios to producing them. There's a relentless pressure to turn the mundane into an entire series. A morning coffee is now a lifestyle aesthetic, which I can be guilty of sometimes. But a difficult, emotional day is now a vulnerability post. It feels like secret places or just time alone is being sold off brick by brick for the sake of an algorithm that doesn't even care about the person behind the lens. Today, I'm going to talk about the death of privacy, from the security risks of routine vlogging to the ethical crisis of children being used as content. It's time to look at why the world is losing its edge by giving everything away. Let's talk about it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Javona Dang. For those of you who are new here, I tend to spend a lot of time analyzing the internet. Now, before we get into today's topic, I just want to give a quick disclaimer. I am not a privacy expert or a security analyst. First and foremost, I'm just kind of looking at today's topic and just kind of seeing where the boundary lies. This video isn't to shame or point fingers at anybody. And even if you do see TikTok videos mentioned or any other type of content mentioned, I am not pointing fingers at that person. I am simply using the content as an example to enhance what I'm going to be talking about. So to kick things off, I kind of want to look at the algorithm and see what it's actually teaching the world about privacy. So let's start with the question, why does everything need to be posted in the first place? Why is there an itch to post literally anything? Psychology suggests that in an increasingly isolated world, people are looking for a sense of intimacy. And when a person feels unseen in their physical real life, the internet becomes their witness. I think there's a deeper root in all of this, and it's the need for human affirmation. When people look to the internet for a well done or an I can relate to this moment or comment, they are essentially outsourcing their self-worth to strangers on the internet. I want to break it down a little bit more for you guys. So let's just say you're getting coffee with a friend, or you're having a really deep conversation with somebody who's really close to you or somebody that you spend a lot of time with. And instead of just being present, your brain goes, wait, this is so aesthetic and picture moment. I need to take a picture. I need to post this on the gram. I need to post this on the Snapchat, the TikTok, whatever it is. I just feel like this would be such a good post to look back at. That's the shift that I'm kind of analyzing, is you're not really living in the moment. You're already thinking about the psychological serotonin that's going to come from receiving likes and comments on that moment that you are experiencing. It's almost as if you're like outside of your body and you're observing yourself live as opposed to just living in the moment now. And this isn't just pointing fingers. Like I said, I can relate to this. Like, I will have a moment during Bible study and I'm like, oh my God, this is so cute. Let me take a picture. I take my little picture, I take my little video, and I'm like, should I just like live in the moment? I feel like I need to just live here. Holy Spirit be telling me, he be telling me I need to live in the present moment, but that's another topic, guys. And another thing that I've noticed is platforms like TikTok specifically, which I tend to focus on a lot, push series videos of social media managers and just content creators in general saying, post 3 times a day. This is your sign to post 3 times a day. XYZ happens when you post 3 times a day. Now, this obviously forces people to film everything. It doesn't even have to be content that's like edited and you took your time on it. It just has to be something in your day. Just film it and post it. This constant output prevents the brain from actually resting on the input of your life. And from a theological corner, Matthew 6:6 says, "But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen." There's essentially a divine pattern for a private life. And if God values the things done in secret, why has society collectively decided that the secret has no value? When everything is public, nothing feels sacred, and I can attest for that. Now, another series I've seen on TikTok is the Living Alone Diaries and just a day in the life of, or the Stay at Home Mom series. Now, I actually watch these videos, but after researching, it can be a little bit dangerous to post videos like this. Let me break it down. When a person posts a day in the life series on their TikTok or YouTube Shorts, Instagram, whatever it is, when they post it to their social media platforms, they are essentially painting a blueprint of their day to their audience. If their routine includes like go to the gym at 7 a.m., walk the dog at 6 p.m., it creates a pattern of life that's really easy to track. It doesn't even have to be a day in the life or stay at home mom series, whatever it is. A lot of the time, people will post their balcony views or film their front doors without realizing they are essentially being geolocated in seconds. And I'm sure you guys have heard the phrase, nothing on the internet is to be trusted. But I feel like society trusts the internet with its literal address when we post things like this. And it's not something that we can stop and think about. It's just, we want to post this for our content. We need to get our portfolios up or whatever it is. Like, this is our job. Like influencers, half the time it's their job. But I think the standard is becoming too high in terms of like the audience being like, show us more. We want to see the realistic side of XYZ. And it's like, okay, there's got to be some boundaries on both sides. It's not even about being paranoid. It's just about the pattern, the obvious patterns. Patterns are predictable, and predictable people are easy to find.
There's certain things that are dangerous to post that I feel like a lot of people aren't that aware of. Don't post day in my life videos that have identifiable information about where you live or the places you go to routinely. Today, I saw a day in my life video from an influencer who lives in my city. Just from watching this video, I saw what car she drives. I saw what the street outside her house looks like. She verbally discloses how many times a week and what time she normally goes to the gym. All of that to go along with clips from that gym. She verbally discloses her work hours. I also found out where her job is because she verbally disclosed that she walked over to the place that she had for lunch. And yes, she shares the place that she had for lunch. She included clips from multiple places in her office building. She even included a clip of herself with her work badge visible. I found out all of that personal information on this influencer just from watching that one day in my life video. Day in my life content may seem like a cute and fun way to film content without having to take extra time out of your day, but it's so dangerous if you're not considering what personal information anyone who sees the video can collect on you. There are some scary people out there who you would never want the displeasure of meeting. So stop giving them the deets to find you. I had a video go viral exactly a year ago talking about a different influencer who previously lived in my city. She posted identifiable stuff all the time about where she lived and where she went, to the point where I knew exactly what building she lived in just by following her and watching her content. And so did some random man who showed up to her lobby multiple times in the middle of the night asking to be let up to her unit. And when she came out and shared about that happening to her, I wasn't surprised at all because, well, I know where you live.
We live in a high-tech world, guys. The FBI can find people. The internet can find people like that. You don't even have to be an FBI agent or a private investigator to find things. I know when I was a fangirl, I mentioned this in my last video, I used to be a fangirl and I used to find my favorite band members' hotels just by pictures and images in the back. And I used to go be like, hey, oh my God, so crazy to run into you. There were other girls there too, by the way. If you were a fangirl, you know what I'm talking about. Kind of crazy, but that's just like the perfect example of what I'm talking about. This is where the conversation gets a little bit heavier. Sharenting, which is when you post children to a high following account. Technically, well, not technically, essentially, a child that is being posted, especially at a young age, mainly at a young age, I mean, anybody under 18, is or has no say in their digital footprint. And by the time they reach adulthood, their most vulnerable moments are online for everybody to see. And I noticed another pattern while researching. Are we surprised I'm noticing all the patterns? There are specific creators who are warning parents, warning the public of the dangers of posting children online. But these videos don't get pushed by the algorithm. I wouldn't be surprised if this video doesn't get pushed for that reason. I mean, my videos probably don't get pushed for other reasons, but I just wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I think the obvious reason for this is because family vlogging is a business. If you watch YouTube for the past like 10, 15 years, family vlogging has been on its A game in the YouTube industry. If people stop posting their family, which is their business goes down. Simple. I think the main question for me is that child, or are those children being raised properly, or are they just being managed? Like, are they your equipment for your content? Because when there's a camera in a kid's face all day, their version of reality is fundamentally shifted. And again, I want to be careful when talking about stuff like this, because I'm not saying every family YouTube channel is harmful. There are channels with good intentions and a genuine heart behind it. But the truth is, and the elephant in the room, is that we really don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I saw a Netflix or Hulu documentary on the dangers of family vlogging. I think it was like this Mormon family who were vlogging their lives and the children finally spoke up. Really popular documentary. You guys know what I'm talking about. I can't think of it right now, but if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Just very sensitive topic, but also very real topic that needs to be addressed more often on social media platforms. And just any platform in general. And by the way, this isn't theoretical. There are real families who have already experienced the consequences of this. When talking about the children online, it's just impossible to ignore the families who have already dealt with the lack of guardrails on digital platforms. Really quick, I want to talk to you guys about an initiative called Parents SOS, Parents for Safe Online Spaces. This isn't just a nonprofit organization. It's a coalition launched by families who have lost children to online harms. Everything from cyberbullying to algorithm rabbit holes. They are an educational and advocacy group fighting for the KOSA Act. KOSA means Kids Online Safety Act. They're just asking for a world where platforms are safe by design. Simply put, they believe tech companies should be held accountable for the environments they create for minors. Now, I am not being paid to mention any of this. However, I did feel it was suitable to honorably mention them considering the topic and themes of this video. I've put a link in the description if you guys are interested in getting to know their mission a bit more. Now let's get back into the topic. So, is all sharing dark? Absolutely not. There is a salt and light, as the Bible calls it, version of the internet. The salt of the internet, for example, is when people share like health ideas or share things that will benefit the person watching the video positively. There's also preventing people from getting certain illnesses, preventing people from buying food products they shouldn't buy. I know I spend a lot of time online seeing what's good at Trader Joe's because I'm in my Trader Joe's obsession era. It left and then it came back. So I'm constantly looking at videos like, what passes the Olive app? Like, what should I buy that has good ingredients? You know, I use social media for that. I can also use Google, but it's just easier when someone else breaks it down for me online in a video for some reason. I don't know the science behind that. There's also different things people post that are really helpful, like how to protect yourself from a scam or how to get out of a kidnapping. Like literally the internet is full of positive stuff like that. Just putting that out there. There are some good series and good stuffs on TikTok. Okay. It's almost as if there's a sense of hope or protection also on the internet. Now the line is obviously drawn here when the lying or the performing starts. Then I'm cutting the program off. Gotta go. Next topic. Plus, on the contrary of literally everything I just said, there are people who enjoy private lives. They believe that keeping a child's face private or keeping your relationship private is the only way to protect the nature of those moments, but also just keeping those moments special. Psalm 141:3 says, "Set a guard over my mouth, Lord. Keep watch over my lips." In a digital response, we might say something like, "Set a guard over my space this moment. Keep watch over the door of my privacy." And ultimately, people have free will. We all have free will to post whatever we want. And if we don't care, if you don't care, then that's that. But I think society is being sort of shifted, and I say this a lot on my channel, or conditioned, I also say this a lot on my channel, to believe that privacy is a thing of the past. It's not, okay? People live like the Pilgrims did all those years ago. Privacy is a choice, but I feel like it should be practiced more on the internet, and that's just my opinion. I think the moral of this video is that sharing your life can be exciting, but keeping parts of it private, that's where the peace comes in. Like, it's okay to have dinner or coffee without a tripod, or like if your phone is dying, like that's okay. Let's just leave it that way. Do you know what I mean? It's okay to want a life that is unfiltered, where it's just you and God, essentially. Like no audience, no phone, no performance. Now I know everyone is different. Okay, when these topics come up, it's hard to not look hypocritical because here I am posting on the internet, but I'm curious to see where you guys draw the line and just your thoughts in general. That is all I have for you guys in today's video. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you guys so much. Literally have been getting little comments, positive comments on my videos, and I just love that. That's what keeps me going. So please keep the comments nice. I always say that. We need to be peacemakers, guys. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I love you, and may the Lord bless and keep you. Also, leave any prayer requests you may have down below. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.